Look at this delicious food, people. This food is so yummy. Oh my god, like it's so nice. I'm going to be teaching you how I made this food, and this is my first time preparing afang soup. Let's get on the ingredient. I have cow skin and cow leg here. I already parboiled it earlier that day. Some fried goat meat, of course. That's our favorite in this house. I have some fish. I think this is, I don't know what kind of fish, but it's fish. Then this is the key ingredient, Ukazi. Thanks to my father-in-law, he actually sent this to me back in January. So I'm using kale for this afang soup instead of water leaf or ugu, and some palm oil, of course. I'll be telling you why I used kale in between the video. Pardon me, I'm still getting used to this voiceover. So I'm just putting some water. It's hot water in the pot, you know, just for it to boil. I added all the proteins. Well, this is goat meat I'm adding at the moment, so you can use any protein of your choice. You know, you just add everything together, put some water. But if you're using water leaf, you have to put less water because water leaf itself secretes water. So I let that boil for like 5 minutes or less than that. Once it's boiling, I just start, and I added some pepper and onions. I used maybe about 2 scotch bonnet because Ryan eats from this, so I don't want it to be too spicy, but I still want him to taste the spice. Because why not? Omo Yoruba and a Yoruba boy plus Igbo. Yeah, that was what I did. I had some crayfish from, you know, for some seasoning. At this point, the house was already smelling all nice and yummy, and I had some dawa. It's called locust beans or iru in Yoruba. Since I found out about iru here, like they sell iru here, I've been using it to cook all my soup, and I don't regret it. It's so yummy. So I just let that boil for a little while, you know. I let it boil. At some point, I added my fish, but let me tell you guys why I used kale. I wanted to buy ugu, but ugu was so expensive. Like the amount of ugu I will need, I'll be spending close to $30 just to buy ugu. I'm like, hell no, I'm buying kale. Like kale and ugu, if you know the taste of vegetable, they taste very similar. They are both hard leaf, but you can also use water leaf if you want. But I used kale instead, and it still turned out so delicious. It tastes so delicious. So I've added my smoked fish and stir everything together. I also cut up some cow skin pomo and just added it. You know, every bite you want to take from this soup, you want to taste all the yumminess. You're just like, once you take one swallow, like, oh god, take the wheel. Like, Jesus, thank you for food, because food is life. So that was what I did. I just let everything cook together, let all the seasoning marry together. At this point, if you haven't subscribed, you gotta subscribe to my channel. Like, subscribe. I added this tiny fish that I found that my mom sent to me as well back in January. Just like, let me add it. Why not? We like good food in this house. We work hard. Why don't you just eat good too? Like, eat good, eat healthy. So that was it. And yeah, next I'm going to be adding my kale, which you'll see in a minute. So I'm adding my kale. The will I say the tip or the hint or the secret behind, you know, stirring vegetable is when you put the vegetable, cover it for some minutes, then allow it to absorb the steam, then it will be easier for you to stir. Before I found out that tip, honestly, I would put the vegetable and start stirring, and to be so difficult that my hands will be paining me. Sometimes I will have to call Prince to stir for me. But since I found this tip on YouTube, I think from CCME, I'm not quite sure, I covered it, you know. Next, just for like a few minutes or some few seconds, I start stirring it together. Just watch how easy it is. It's gonna be, sorry, for me to stir. You see, it's not as difficult as when you just put it in, you're trying to, you know. And can we just appreciate God's goodness, because kale is very beautiful. Imagine if kale was a human being. My goodness, so many toasters, so many acquaintances, and kale is a very beautiful vegetable. I honestly prefer kale to spinach, because yeah, that's my preference. So I don't eat a lot of spinach, and I don't cook a lot of spinach. So you can see how easy it was for me to stir. I stirred that, stir. I don't know what I did next, but I just kept stirring. I had a lot of kill. This soup probably took us 2 weeks, because I'm telling you, once the soup is good, Prince eats the same soup morning, afternoon, night if he's at home. But you know, if he works, he'll probably eat. He only eats once a day, or two times a day maximum, but you eat it every day, so it didn't last us long for this soup. Yeah, let's add the key ingredient. I've just blended some Ukazi, just put some Ukazi in the blender, add a little bit of water, and here we go. I think Ukazi is the main ingredient in Afang soup. Let me just tell you guys like why I love Afang soup. When I was in the UK, it is one of my friend called Chiamaka. I know my friends watching this video be like, oh, Ruth always tell the story, Abby always tell the story. She made this soup and she brought a plate for me, and since then I'm like, I have to learn this Afang soup. Like every time I go to a restaurant, I order Afang soup. I'm like, why don't I just learn how to make it so I can be making it for my family? That was what inspired this cooking series, so we can eat something else, not every time. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, why not? Not every time, you know, the same soup over and over again, so we can have variety. So at this point, you just had your palm oil. You're almost done, you're pretty almost done at this point. Like, it's so easy to cook once your protein of choice is, you know, is cooked. After it probably take less than 10 minutes, honestly, or even maybe about 8-7 minutes, honestly. And the recipe I watched for this was actually CCM's recipe from like 4 years ago. She made it so simple, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna follow that. And the only difference was I used kale while other people use ugu and bitter leaf. It was so nice. I added I haven't added any seasoning at this point, but at some point I added some seasoning, you know, just taste. And yeah, cover, let it cook. This was the end result. Honestly guys, food photography is another thing. I haven't mastered that, but this is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe.